Okay, let's see what's going on here. Live. Okay, let's see what this is saying here. Okay, it says we have an excellent connection right now. So that's a good thing. Excellent connection right now. That's a good thing. So it says we have an excellent connection. A minute ago it was complaining. Seems like everything's working well. A little glitch there with OBS for a moment. But I was talking, so I don't know where I was before the glitch occurred. We up early. We didn't get no sleep last night. I was just looking at some old videos that I produced. A lot of people don't know about dielectric energy and this red brick realm, um, and today, many people reiterate these words: "Nothing new under the sun." So if there's nothing new under the sun, I talk about these conductive coatings like denatron that you can paint on bricks, and that bricks can hold a charge. And today, prior to understanding denatron and solutions that they're using for conductivity and so forth, we talked about that as meltologists, about dielectric energy and these buildings that were uh, capable of storing and harnessing energy and producing energy for that matter, using many things like, did you know that uh, denatron coated on bricks compacted in water holds a higher dielectric charge, so that makes sense why you build a castle, if you will, and put a moat around it with water, so the conductivity is greater. See, and certain things like that. So we talked about that a long time ago, 2019, um, right? Just after that, then you had universities that wanted to talk about uh, solutions such as denatron to paint it on and so forth. And now you can buy this solution and you can use this solution and do experiments with this solution and so forth. So um, it's hard for them to continue um, keeping the lie quiet in regard to all these red brick buildings that were everywhere in our America, in our world for that matter, not just in America, everywhere, because it's the same everywhere. Let's see if we have anybody on the chat at all. Hey, good morning. We got Shawnee B in the chat this morning. What's up, brother? I'm up early. For 2 months, Shawnee B, I had what they want to call acute chronic bronchitis. I call it the chemtrail flu. But I just did a cycle of antibiotics. Feel a little bit better, but not 100%. But the whole time for the last month, I went and seen the dentist, and he worked on one tooth, and now I have more dental problems. And I was up all night with a toothache. So I'm going to try to make an appointment sometime this morning and go into emergency session because something's got to give here. This has just been 2 months of sheer shit, and now I'm still suffering a little bit of this chemtrail flu. And when I cough, it's still in my lungs. But I had X-rays and everything. They say my lungs are healthy, and, and so forth. So let's see what it says in there. And thing. Looks like we got a good stream going. Uh, we got 3 viewers. Good to see you there. Um, Just making some noise testing. How is the audio there, Shawnee B? Is the audio okay, brother? Let's see. I'm gonna dump this here and see if the audio's still kicking good. So maybe I can step that up just a little bit, maybe a little bit more. I'll just see how that goes. Check. One, two, three. Check, check, check. So I'll check myself here. Let's see how the audio's coming in. Still kicking good. Yeah, it seems like the audio's coming in pretty good. I iced the mic auxiliary and just bumping just the audio input that I got booted through OBS, and it seems to work a lot better. All right, well, thanks, Johnny. I see it with the thumbs up there. Appreciate it. So just really kind of testing and talking about things of the past that we talked about before. Uh, this dielectric energy, and you uh, running around there all throughout Massachusetts, there on the East Coast, you see it over and over that some type of surge hit, and we have a great understanding that was electric. It was some type of plasma electric discharge that zapped the crap out of it, and you see things were grounded differently, and around metal things happen differently. Arches um, kind of saved the day, if you will, of certain things that were going on when this great surge occurred. And you go west from where you are at, you'll see that way west from California here, and to the desert area, things got zapped really, really good, and all these bigger buildings, which we call mountains, got really super zapped, but there's still evidence there. You know, we have, train tracks leading into the side of a mountain. There's nothing there. And then they tell us that they excavated this and they dug these tunnels out and these mines out, and that's an absolute fallacy. So, all right, that's the way to start the day, brother. Go make them pallets, sir. So YouTube's complaining again. Error. Open studio. So I'm gonna open a studio and see what they're bitching about here. Well, something's going on there. We're gonna we're gonna shut that off. It's just sucking up resources or something. So studio says we got a good connection, and I just shut the TV off. That's wanting to suck my resources, so that seemed to make a difference there. So it seems like we got a good connection there. Well, enjoy that doobie. What kind of strain you smoking? Hopefully a sativa. You don't want to get to work and lay down on one of them pallets and nod out for the rest of the day, huh, brother? Oh, I know. I hear the other room. I got YouTube playing in the other room. We got to go shut that down because it's sucking resources too. So too much demand on the Wi-Fi here, and I am running wireless, but it is running good. So I might go shut down that in my room. So I'm gonna go shut that down in my room. So enjoy work, brother. Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna step away because I gotta go shut that down for a minute. But so we got that open. That all seems to be hitting pretty good. So be right back. What's going on? Red Bricks Live. We'll be right back. We're gonna go shut down um, the bandwidth sucker in my room. It's sucking bandwidth, so we're gonna shut that down for a minute and then make some noise. It's early. It's 6:18. Um, Anybody in the chat got any suggestions you want to talk about? Anybody know anything about Denatron? You ever hear about it? You know anything about dielectric energy? Well, that's what we talk about in meltology. We talk about this melted realm, dielectric energy, and the many ways that uh, the past utilized these buildings to make electricity, harness electricity, and so forth. You know, the cathedrals, the castles, the that word, where the soul resides, the energy, you know, these bronze tops, harnessing electricity. We'll be right back. See, I can't even stop when I got a toothache, see, 'cause you got the red brick fever, you know what I mean? You just gotta get this word out to the people. So we'll be right back. We're gonna shut that down, make a cup of coffee, and get with the program here. Make some more noise. So anybody got anything to say? Please feel free to say it. We're talking about conductive coatings right now. Denatron. We had Shawnee B there. He's getting ready for work. Anybody hits the chat and got any questions while Shawnee's there, maybe you have any questions for him. Maybe he can drop a link about his channel if anybody else shows up. We have 3 concurrent viewers. Only one in the chat was Shawnee, who made some noise this morning, so thanks for stopping by. And we've had 5 views. We're kept in the back corner. But let me go shut down that bandwidth sucker in the other room. I'll be right back. But we do have an excellent connection right now, according to YouTube Studio and my OBS. So we will be right back. Peace! Shawnee B don't have to be told. He's smoking one before work. So smoke one for me, bro. I ain't smoked nothing. Not even a doobie or nothing. I quit smoking cigarettes 5 days ago. I ain't had a cigarette. This is my 6th day today. So I feel a lot better not smoking cigarettes. I'm not going to return to them cigarettes because they're pure poison. So anyway, I'm going to go shut down that bandwidth sucker. Sit down, my girl. Too early to go walking. That's my dog. Go sit your ass down. It's too early. You already been out. You ain't going walking. Get up in your bed. Come on. Come on. Get up in your bed. There you go. There, chill out. All right. So what's going on here? We're gonna plug up. We got plenty battery. We're gonna plug up anyway. So I need to hardline this. That way we won't get no Wi-Fi interruptions. Planes going overhead. So we're back, folks, making some noise here on the Black Mirror. Um, how you doing this morning? Let's see. I wonder how that's showing up. Hopefully not with the bottom half messed up. No, it seems like it's doing okay. It's just not showing up on my OBS. It only looked like half the screen was showing up on my OBS. So, but it's showing up, so that's good. There. Okay. There we are. Does that make it move around? Let's see what it does. So, we bumping in the OBS here, a lot of testing. So let's see, we get us a video capture, so you can see my ugly mug this morning. There we are. Here we are, folks, in the Black Mirror making some noise. So we got a toothache a little bit over here on the left side, but it shows up on the right side. You're looking at, blah blah blah. So, we made us a cup of coffee. Shawnee B is off to work. Time to make the donuts. Well, he ain't making donuts, he's making pallets. So have a beautiful day at work. The guy's busy non-stop, man. He got over 5,000 videos um, showing you the melt. So that's some cool stuff. But anyway, we was talking about Denatron, and we can stop this link right there. A good day link. So we got that open. And do we got this here? So let's see what we got going on this morning. I was looking around to see if anybody had something going on this morning, but I didn't see nobody had nothing really going on this morning. So let's bump this up a little bit more. Sounds like the audio's coming in pretty good. Let's double check again because I'm looking. We only got it. We got it almost bumped all the way, and we're not hitting the yellow zone, but we're staying pretty in the green zone, and we're not using any filters, so I'm gonna check myself. So if you get a little uh, feedback, it's because of me. Not hitting the yellow zone, but we're staying pretty in the green zone. Okay, that sounded pretty good. So I don't know how far you have to turn that up on the audio on the phone and so forth, but I'm just curious about things like that. This is a geek at heart, want things to work, you know what I mean? So, I don't know if anybody knows anything about Denatron, but it's like a based, uh, wet coating agent with excellent processing and flexibility. You could use it for switches or holding a charge and so forth. And they're painting bricks with them, and these bricks end up being a conductor, if you will, you know, um, to hold an electrical charge, and that you can discharge quickly or slowly, varying in regard to how things are set up, the structure is set up. We're seeing a lot of metal and a lot of these melts um, that Shawnee B and other people all across this realm are showing, and that has something to do with that conductivity and the switches, and that's what my own belief is. Like the menorah, that's just uh, something to do with the grid system and a switch, because you find it melted in infrastructures of places, and they want to say, oh, this is a fossilized menorah and this and that, and it's absolutely, that's not the truth. It's like a sigil, if you will. It served a purpose, just like a lot of this stuff that we're discovering all over um, served a big purpose in regard to um, what we're talking about, what they hid from us, these red brick buildings that were energy buildings, harnessing electricity. You've seen these big balls, possibly could have been mercury, more things to, for producing electricity. See, just like, you know, this this denatron solution, something of the past, brought forward again. Like today, somebody says, "Oh, they want to, I want to attach a touch sensor to a screen or this and that," but this area is too small to meet, the cost and requirements of doing it. Um, so I touch a touch sensor to a flexible and stretchable device, but you're not happy with the visible wiring pattern. So, so you want to attach like biosensors um, that are safe for the human body and so forth. And you can use these polymers that they call PDOT, PSS. It has a low absorption, okay? It's visible in a light region, and you can paint it on buildings. You can connect these micro cameras to it and paint cameras on buildings, if you will. And they're doing those type of things today in China, in empty cities that can hold up to 10 million people that they've built and are sitting there dormant. For what reason? We don't exactly know. They're not very transparent about what they're doing. They'll tell us all kinds of things, and it's not so. Oh, we got Whitetail. How you doing? Good morning, Whitetail. So we had more than Shawnee B stopping by this morning. So, a lot of these things that this Denatron, you can buy this solution today. Um, for a lot of different things and applications. But I wish we had a group of people in our team that we had our own scientific studies and stuff like that. That would be really cool to start trying to use some of these things of the past that are being reintroduced into our todays and tomorrows, if you will, and start trying to use these things to say loud and clear that this is the case, that one of the main components to why this has all been hidden from us is to meter us for life. That's what it's all about. The ark, they want to tell you the ark was for tombs and so forth, but just like yesterday, I showcased a gal out of California, Cali Brick Bunny. She shows you uh, the red hills in California are, are what the Native Americans called stone wigwams. Okay, well we call them pyramids, and it's designated as a park, 7,100 acres of melted pockets of survival that are pyramids covered by debris and trees, and and we know this is a fact. It's there. It's everywhere. Uh, you look at California, and they want to talk about tectonic plates. Well, the tectonic plate from California, if you look at old maps, California used to be an island. Well, what happened? Well, things are moving and shifting. And if you look at what they want to call plates, we say these are chunks of infrastructure of buildings. And California and Hawaii were part of a building, and much of that is still underwater. And it got pushed towards what we call the United States, that tectonic plate. But at the same time in history, you see there was explosions by man that emptied huge lakes that that went across the country to help fill in these areas. And we have something that they call the San Andreas fault line. This fault line is where two chunks of buildings um, bumped into one another. See, but they don't tell you that. They want to give you some geological nonsense terms and so forth. So the coffee's pretty good. I used some solution on my tooth that helps numb it a little bit, so I'm doing a little bit better because earlier I couldn't even have talked. I couldn't even have talked. My tooth hurted so much. So that's a tooth story. The whole tooth and nothing but the tooth, so help me. So anyway, so those are some things. Basically, I'm just making some noise this morning, folks, testing out my OBS and the audio and switching scenes and reiterating some things I talked about in the past. I presented a video about Denatron on a Spartan Red channel when we were having a red brick marathon, and we need to have another one of those. But I mean, Dean held it down, didn't he? I don't know what he was up for, 30 plus hours or something. Now that's a trooper there. So, so there's a lot of pretty cool things that are occurring that they can't hide anymore, that they're beginning to utilize and letting the general public understand. And that's what these polymers and stuff like this denatron and what properties can be added, and even we're not taught in school, in these public schools about dielectric energy and so forth in regard to all these red brick buildings and these Capitol buildings, and they're busy destroying them all right now at a really matter of fact here in Detroit they're trying to destroy Belle Isle, and they want to put new buildings on there and so forth, and just more nonsense. Just it's what the truth is. They're just trying to hide and destroy the red brick past, folks. And that's what the truth is, not this nonsense they want to give you. Our leaders are. We need to have most of them welded in cells and have trials on them for the stuff they pull on us. You know, here in Michigan, hey, we the people, we pitched in like $55 million for a building to be erected called the Pontiac Silverdome. $55 million. You know what these leaders do to it? They abandon it, and then they want to put it up for sale. And they put it up for sale and allow a billionaire, a Canadian billionaire, to buy it for $549,000. He holds on to it for a year, and then he sells it to Bezos for Amazon, and Bezos buys it for $127 million a year later. You hear me? 127 million. That's what our leaders did to us. They ripped us off. That should have been ours, the people. See how they look out for their constituents? And why don't we have no audit groups to Go get these people and lock them in cages. They need to be locked, welded in cages while they're having their trial, and then leave them welded in after we convict them, because they want to lawfully rip us off with laws and nonsense. Anyway, we got off the subject there a little bit, but it is part of our past, and one of the reasons they're hiding this the red brick past is because of these loser ass um, politicians that we have all over the place, and many of them you follow their trace line, their family um, lineage to those people who began hiding this from us. So, and that's very, very true. Just like all the presidents related except one, Van Buren. See? And he was in a party called the Free Soil Party, and what they do? Destroy that party. They say it wasn't destroyed. They say it was merged into, and it's the Republican Party today. I say that's a lie. It was destroyed, um, period. So I think that's what we, the people, should go back to. It even sounds right. The Free Soil Party. See, in this soil, in this madness, most of that soil that you see today is red brick ash and building debris, building ash, and all those things that melted in the past. And a lot of these trees that are everywhere only like 300, 400 years old. So it didn't happen that long ago, this great flood and melt. See, first happened to melt and then the flood. So, but they hide that from us all, and screw our timeline up. Give us a different calendar. Um, just convolute everything about what truth is. So, oh, I'm sorry. The only thing we're seeing is that damn conductive coatings by Denatron. Denatron should give me uh, some money for advertising their stuff, huh? Here we are. Sorry, folks. I thought y'all was seeing me talking, but ain't no big deal. We just looking to see. That's what I just looked to see who was there, and we ain't got nobody new there. We got 4 people in the chat, and we have had 8 views. And see how we're just silenced and put in the back corner? And you go look on the live streams right now, and you can scroll, 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 and you'll never see me. They put me in the back corner somewhere. So, coffee tastes good, but got a little, I've been smoking cigarettes for many years, so this is my 5th or 6th day, I said, of stopping smoking. I feel a lot better not smoking, but I do have the urge to want to smoke. I would like to smoke a cigarette right now, but I just keep telling myself I've never smoked cigarettes. So I'm going to continue trying to not smoke cigarettes. I haven't smoked anything in a while now. No marijuana, no cigarettes whatsoever. I say about 8 days ago I did smoke a doobie. It made me cough like crazy, and I had what they call acute bronchitis, which was terrible. I was down for about, well, I'm still down with that shit. You can still hear it a little bit in my nose. Got a little bit of earache, but I think that has something to do with my toothache. But what I got, I call it the chemtrail flu. I don't call it chronic bronchitis and whatever these doctors want to call it. Too many people all over, just in America, have the same symptoms I do at the same exact time. And these are the same people that I know who say, hey, they just dropped white lines all over us and put hash marks all across the sky. And next you know, the weather's bad and it's flooding in regions, and when they introduced this meteors and different explosions and using the wow signal and blah blah blah. That's all conspiracy, right, folks? These white lines everywhere is a conspiracy, right? And when you talk about them at the end of your video, what do you have up there? You have Smithsonian or Wikipedia dropping they're trolling you and a drop of ad underneath your thing saying, oh, contrail, it's not a chemtrail, blah, blah, blah. Huh? Yeah, I hear you, Shawnee B. I thought we, I thought we already moved away from that adenotron, uh, you know, that P dot solution. So that would be cool to get some of that stuff to play around, try to make some capacitors with bricks and so forth to further demonstrate what we're saying. But it's hard to even get people to unify. So we got to drop some things here. Let's see, we got the. Okay. It says we got an excellent connection. We had Whitetail and Shawnee B show up. Uh, Shawnee B says, "Congrats, Chief." No, I don't have no commercials. I said they should. They should throw me some bucks for just talking about their P dot solution, um, or throw me, a couple gallons of that solution. They is what they should do. So that would be cool, huh? Play around with that. I think that would be cool. So it so it took a second to open up for me, but it is showing, and that's what I was checking. I was checking my studio on my own behalf to see how it's booting through and so forth. So making some noise, trying to get some people. We need some more subs. We need people on board. Um, we need some thinkers. Yeah, thank you, Shawnee B. I was like, what's he giving me congrats about? About the commercial? I said, no, about not smoking. Yeah, thank you, sir. It is one of the hardest things I ever quit. I quit drinking alcohol in 1999 and never returned, and it was no difficult thing to really do. Maybe at the beginning a little bit, but cigarettes is one of the hardest things I ever tried to quit. I quit a couple years ago for an entire year. I quit and I ended up returning. So it's a daily struggle to stay quit from them suckers. You just gotta believe they're there just to poison you, 'cause there ain't no, they talk about one brand of cigarettes, Indian, that's just water and tobacco, but still, you know, it's still the nicotine and it doesn't do anything for you. So just smoke a doobie, man. You want to smoke, don't smoke the crap that they want to kill you with, and smoke a good old doobie. When I did smoke a doobie, it helped cough up all that crazy ass chemtrail shit that's in my lungs. I was clogging it up. So yeah, so thank you, Shawnee B. I'm gonna continue to quit them damn cigarettes. Period. So I want nothing to do with them. Matter of fact, I read this article about what occurs to the body from day one um, to 1 year, on all the way up to a 7 year cycle. So around the seventh year, your body, um, minus the scar tissue that occurred, is back to having pink lungs other than the scar tissue. Um, After a very short period of time, the fiber, the hairs, come back on your lungs. Um, and you know what the truth is? You smoke certain marijuanas, it helps your lungs, but you can abuse that too. I realize that too because, certain strains, I have to admit, like I like a sour diesel. and I grew some stuff called apple sour diesel. It was so tasty, man. Man, and matter of fact, when I did quit smoking for that year, I had grown that it was called apple sour diesel, and it was so tasty. It smelled beautiful, tasted good, made you feel good. I smoked an ounce one time in one day, and that's just a little bit too much smoking, but I admit it, I did, and that's how good it was. It tasted good. So you gotta be careful not to smoke too much. I started smoking them like cigarettes. I was doing a lot of outside work for a guy who's got hundreds of millions of dollars. So I'd be on the tractor. It had me a little. I roll me 20. He's doing stuff on a tractor and just smoking way too much. But that was a couple years back, so I don't smoke like that anymore. Usually I just smoke like in the evening, you know, or I do smoke sometimes like in the morning, like Shawnee B. I'll smoke a sativa that give you put a little pep in your step. So in the evening I'll smoke a little more of the indicas, the couch stuff to help you, or a little hybrid, a little bit of both worlds, where it makes you feel a little bit better. Like right now, my toothache is I don't have the toothache right now because I put some solution on there that numbs it, so it's kind of numb. So because talking earlier really sucked. I mean, just talking. I mean, I only slept for about 2 hours, and I've been having a problem sleeping for my whole life, but for the last 2 months, really bad. Hey, we got Frankie in the chat too. Morning, Frankie. Manifest name's Frankie, so that name hits hard to me because my brother Frank, God rest his soul, passed in 2025. He drank himself to death. So, and you look up his records in the obituary and the coroner report, and it says my brother died of natural causes. And well, you'd know now, but I know 100% it wasn't no natural causes. My brother drank himself to death. I had to go pick his dog up from up north after he drank himself to death, and there was 30 bottles on his table, 30 fifths on his table. So when I see Manifest with the name Frankie, it makes me think of my brother Frank, and I appreciate Manifest coming by. And I dig cats too. Cats are pretty cool, man. I don't have a cat. We had a cat before, but it was crazy. My brother had a cat, but my brother's cat acted like a dog because he kind of treated it like a dog, not a cat. So it fetched the ball and was kind of rough, tumble kind of cat, not real docile. It was like a really aggressive cat. And I watched it one time when he had to travel to Germany, and it was crazy. Yep, I agree. I said the only thing alcohol is good for is cleaning stuff, fueling a car or machinery, or making some good oil, huh? Smoke. you know, or to make your edibles and stuff like that to extract the good stuff from marijuana to make good medicine. See, so I agree with you 100%. Alcohol is poison. There's nothing there that's good for you except for, as a cleaning agent or fuel. To those who can drink, like books say, like old books say, a little ale is good for the belly. Okay, I can understand that, but stay away from the pilsners. If you want to drink and you're drinking beers, don't drink those pilsners because they're full of estrogen and they make males grow bellies and tits. So that's why you see a lot of these males have, gigantic breasts and big bellies because they're drinking this pilsner beer that augments their own DNA system, and who knows else what they put in it. Well, that's nice.
That's nice to be adopted by a critter, you know what I mean? Yep, that's some cool stuff there, Frankie. So it's almost 7 o'clock here, 6:53. So those West Coast people, I know Shawnee B, I don't know what time you got to be at work in the mornings. I'm gonna have to go get me another job here in a minute because things are getting so expensive. That's funny. Animals and kids love me. I get along with kids and animals all the time. Dog would be barking at someone or causing commotion. I can just walk up to it, talk to it, look at it, put my hand down, it'll smell me, and it'll be my friend. So animals recognize. All right, Shawnee B. Well, I know you got to go to work. Have a great day, man. Shawnee B makes pallets and whatever else he does there for the people he works for. Now every time I see a pallet, I think about Shawnee B. Swear. So my phone be off the hook every day anyway. I go blink blink every time it goes blink blink. I know it's Shawnee B uploading something. So I got my notifications on. So animals and kids, I hear you. So that's good. That says something about your soul, Shawnee B. That's why probably you're somebody who I really hit it off with. You and your girl there, Chrissy B, and your animal, and that's good to see. So you have a beautiful day at work today, and I know that you uploaded a couple of videos I haven't seen yet, so I'm gonna go check them out. But like I said, I'm just waiting for the clock to strike 9 so I can call the dentist office and say I'm coming in for emergency visit. You gotta fix me, 'cause they just fixed one tooth. They were going to do a what they call a where they took the nerve out. What do they call that? Whatever they call that, and then put a cap on it, a crown on it. But they just ground it out and stuff and put a crown on it, and that was okay. But I have a little pain there. But the bottom tooth or something, and I got pretty good teeth for an old dude. Them are, them are my choppers, folks. I'm 61 years old. I took good care of my teeth since I've been a wee lad. And I grew up the first 5 years of my life in Germany in a castle, in the Schloss Castle. You can Google it and look it up in Giesenland. Schloss Castle. It's not a real huge castle, but it's a castle. An energy building, a red brick building of the past. My grandmother was the maid slash cook, do it all kind of gal. Uh, my grandfather was a mason, a groundskeeper, do it all kind of guy. You know, jack of all trades, master of none. But yeah, was a master at some things like masonry and so forth, and he was he was a master at being a good soul to his grandson. That's the number one person that my grandma and grandpa, my oma and opa, they've impacted my life. I'm 61 years old. I have fond memories. I can go back to when I was 3 and 4 years old with some of the thoughts that I still hold dear by having my grandparents in my life from Germany. And my family's been through a lot, through wars and so forth. Germany was wrecked. My grandmother suffered World War I and World War II. Her family had land taken, a big, huge farm during World War II, and then World War I. She had her land taken once again. She was she had 7 sisters. Um, I have lineage on that side of my family from Prussia, Germany. Uh, my grandfather on the German side worked for Adolf Hitler on the American side. My grandfather worked for Uncle Sam, and then from my stepfather, his lineage, they worked for Uncle Sam as well, and they migrated to America through Canada, and they're from Norway, Norwegian folks, big, tall, big old dudes, man. I grew up around a bunch of 6'8" people, 6'1", and I'm only 5'9". So even the girls that are in the family on that side of my stepfathers were like 6'1". That's the short ones. That's the short ones. So a bunch of tall redheads, man. Red, blonde, blue eyes. Vikings are. All right. Meeting with David Wayne in the morning for early morning Red Brick Saturday. That's awesome. Good. You guys gonna do a live or you just gonna record and upload it? Let me know. If you're gonna do it live, I'll rebroadcast it live too on Red Brick Saturday. If you boot it up live, I'll put it up live too, just to rebroadcast it to get more people looking at it and seeing and talking about it. Because that's what I can do. But I'm gonna start doing some boots on the ground. I have some cool spots picked to go do boots on the ground here pretty soon. Um, I got I got a piece of shit phone though that the battery doesn't hold a good charge, but I have another phone that doesn't have no carrier attached to it that I can record stuff with. So I'll probably take that and record some of my things and upload them and do premieres versus doing lives. But I do have to get a new phone that can handle the a long time being live and streaming. So and have a good carrier. So I have a carrier now for my phone called Assurance Wireless. So uh, I might even try to contact them today and try to get a better phone. So because here's my other phone right here, and I got a crack in it, crack in the bottom. It's got a 3/4 of battery, and if I started a live stream, it would last maybe 15 minutes. So the battery really sucks. I've had it for a while. So, matter of fact, I didn't text my buddy yet. A buddy of mine I've known for years. He texts me every morning, every day, and God bless that. His name is Terry. Good soul, man. Yep, he there he is. He texts me already. Good old Terry. Yeah, he texts me already. So I'm gonna say good morning to him real quick and just continue to make some noise. I don't know what we're doing. We're just killing time right now. Killing time. Oh, I hear my girl coughing. She's gonna be getting up in a minute. So she usually don't get up till around 8:30, but I hear her coughing, and she suffered the chemtrail flu with me. Her doctor diagnosed her with having bronchitis, acute bronchitis. All right, yeah, let me know, man. I got your notifications set, so I get all notifications of what you're doing there. So it's always going bing, bing, bing. keep keep melting it, Shawnee B, and you have a beautiful day at work. Matter of fact, Shawnee B, what I do, well, I see pallets on the side of business and so forth. I go pick up these old pallets and I make stuff out of them, huh? Birdhouses and whatever, utilize them. Part of my in my backyard, I had a dove. Her name was Lulu, a white-tailed dove, for 7 years, and I made a little thing from just she didn't stay outside, but we'd go outside. I made a big old bird cage where her and I would sit during the day because she lived inside right next to me. This chair here, I had a big old cage right here, and this table right here, where now I host my little refrigerator, but I had a cage right there. So I wake up in the morning, hearing her go, ho, ho. She never shit in her cage, man. She would not shit in her cage. I'd put my hand out, she'd land on my hand. I'd set her in a bucket, and I'd walk her down to the bathroom. Either she would shit in the bucket or wait to get down to the bathroom. Then she did her little shit dance and then would shit on the floor. And I got tile floor, so I just kept, cleaning solution there and I was cleaning it up. But very, very good bird. I learned a lot from her. She altered my life. She was around for 7 years, and for those 7 years, basically all I did is hung out with my bird, and I would let her out 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day out of her cage, walk around the house. When the weather was nice, we'd go sit outside. I got her from my friend who's now dead. He ended up dead because of escaping America. My friend escaped America because he got locked up, and he was from Iraq and didn't have legit papers and ended up going to Canada. And then from Canada, he joined the service and went over to Ukraine and ended up unalived in Ukraine. But I got the bird from him, and it chose me. And when it was at his house in Walled Lake, Michigan, he left the window open. The bird would fly out and come back. And at times we'd be on his back porch smoking a doobie, and the bird would fly straight to the sun. And it looked like it was flying straight into the sun, and it would just be gone. And people say, she ain't coming back. And about 15, 20 minutes later, she would show up, come back, and she'd land on the railing of the deck, and she'd walk around her little walk, and she'd come right behind me every time and coo to me, hoo, hoo, and I'd pet her, give her some loving. And so she started laying eggs, and I'd be her man, and anybody else go around that nest with an egg that's not fertilized, she would go crazy. But if I came by, I'd be okay. She'd be okay with me coming around it. So she had many eggs, and that's what ended up killing her. She was they call it egg bound. She was egg bound, and I tried to the best of my ability to help her and relieve her. And she was in my hands, and I was over there by the door wall, and I was turning her upside down, trying to apply pressure to help get the egg out very little, and she just suffocated right in my hands, and I cried like a baby. So that's what killed her, being egg bound. I regret. I wish I could have took her to a vet to do something, but I've talked to vets, and they said, that she had a good life, and that's about the longest a lot of these turtle doves live. 7 years, they say. So she had a good. And when she came to me, she had frostbitten feet. Her beak was screwed up because a cat almost destroyed her. So she was real young when she came to me, in bad shape, and I took good care of her and loved her the best of my abilities for 7 years. So I was thankful to have that little thing in my life, man. I still have, you know, on the one hat I have on, I have a whole container full of her feathers, and usually I put a feather in my cap, and on my other cap I have a feather of her that I keep there. So anyway, rambling on about a bird. That's how much that bird meant to me. So anyway, at least they had some company here for a minute. We had Frankie, Shawnee B, and Whitetail stopped by. So I appreciate everybody stopping by, just saying hi, made a difference. So what else can we do here? We talked about the bird. We talked about a little bit about the conductive coatings of denatron. Um, we talked about me quitting smoking, and I urge you all to quit them cigarettes if anyone smokes cigarettes out there. So let's see, what's this say? Oh, that's earlier, the audio test I was doing. I was wondering what that was. So let's see what we got going on here. We're talking about meltology. Good to see them TVs off. If you got them TVs on, make sure it's to one of these channels talking about red bricks, then meltology. this melted world. If not, turn them TVs off. This is Red Bricks Live. We're making noise. It's 7:08 in the morning. We've been streaming now for an hour. We didn't plan on doing no stream today. We were just playing around. We did have a couple drop frames, but that's not bad. The CPU is not being taxed at all. That we're using less than 3% of the CPU doing everything we're doing. Um, so, I urge anybody out there who doesn't want to pay for stuff like StreamYard and so forth, 50 a bucks, keep that 50 in your pocket and learn OBS. And they got something called Voodoo Ninja Voodoo Ninja through there you can interface. Let's see what it's called. Make sure I'm right here. Oh god, that's favorite reasons. Let's see here. Huh. Right there, it's called OBS Ninja Control Room. So if I use the control room, I'll show you. Give me something to do and talk about. I'd have to go in here and I'd shut down this. I shut down my video because I can't use the video. There'd be conflict of interest. So what I'm gonna ice this video here, so I'm no longer there. So, and I'll open up what's called, I'll give you a window capture so you can see what I'm talking about here. Open up right there. And that is your OBS Voodoo Ninja, okay? And where you can have guests. So, if I enable the director's microphone, there I am right there. See me? Okay, I gotta drag it over here. Here we go like this. Yeah, make it a little bit easier. So there's me. Oh, oh, we didn't want that. What the heck? There. Right there is the OBS Ninja. So you can go like that. I'm gonna drop this here for quick. We're getting rid of the screen cover. There. Now just snap this to the, there. I'm gonna transform that and stretch it to the screen. So there we're stretched to the screen so you can see what I have open here. So that is the OBS Voodoo Ninja. So if you wanted to, you go like so, and here's a link to invite guests. And you can make it, and it's password protected, just blah blah blah. But so you copy the link, drop it in the chat, and so forth, and then people, you can have your guests. So I can close this here because we don't need that showing. So you can close that, and we go to live streaming. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna throw that in the chat. Oh, what the heck happened there? We're gonna throw that in the chat. Anybody want to hit that link and say hello? Password is MELT, uppercase MELT, to enter the room. And you can see how that works. And just like with StreamYard and Restream, you have capabilities, and Google Meet, you have capabilities of sharing a page and so forth. But I don't use it so much for that versus just having guests come in, and like, even if the guests came in and I could close the live stream up, we could still be in here and just chat and not record it. Just to have a means to communicate to one another, to have a little meeting to say, hey, what's going on, and you know, just kicking it. You know what I mean? You know, working together to try to maybe get a. And you don't have to show your mug either. You can go like this. I'll show you. See, for example, like I can go in here to the control. See right here. Let's see if it's showing there. On the bottom, there's this little control panel, and you hit there, and it's so I select the tool, and I can pick what I want for my avatar. So you just show your image. You know what I mean? Um, so let's see. I'll just pick one here. Let's see what it is. I'll pick this one. That's kind of cool one. So we open that up, and so we selected that. So now I shut my camera down, and then it shows my avatar. So you can do the same thing, but when you click on this, you can go in the control room, and it can be part of it and say hello and blah blah blah. So if anybody out there want to play, I know Shawnee's off to work. So we talked about that. Conductive coatings. We got the stream going there. So I've been playing around with that, and it works pretty damn good. We still have an excellent connection. We have we're running on Wi-Fi, so that's an unlicensed signal. That's dangerous, but they don't want to talk about that. That's why it's unlicensed, but very harmful. So we're harming ourselves every day by using our phones and these Wi-Fi signals that are running freaking everywhere. That's why it's important sometimes to turn all your equipment off, ground yourself, detox from all these signals and so forth. Go in the woods, put your feet in the ground, go to these streams and lakes and put your feet in the ground, eat right, and don't smoke cigarettes, especially the cigarettes today. It's all poison. It's just there to poison you, so you'll later be a statistic or a meal ticket for a doctor to tell you, hey, just quit smoking and you'll be better. Stop smoking them cigarettes. It's poison. These cigarette manufacturers, these people should be welded in cells along with our Food and Drug Administration for poisoning us Americans. Yep. Yep, this stuff they got um, that's approved, it'd kill you, and you can't even sell it in Europe. Majority of the stuff that they feed us here in America cannot be sold in Europe or a lot of these third world countries for that matter. So what good is the FDA if they're there deliberately poisoning us, huh? With all kinds of stuff. They're sick, man. Even if you do your own history about these Kellogg's and these people who manufacture cereal and some of the insane stuff they did in insane asylums with children and so forth, and these redesignated buildings of the past that they didn't build. You don't build these glorious build. Hey, let's build these glorious buildings for these insane people, right? Or hey, we need a tuberculosis center. Let's build this beautiful castle and put put a bunch of people in there, treat them for tuberculosis. No, just nonsense they fed us over and over and over. And I know the red brick souls know that, but the rest of the world don't. That's why we need the red brick souls telling the story. It makes a difference. So we turn that back on. There's our avatar. As a that's me as a gargoyle, huh? Gargoyles everywhere, huh? See that? You see the similarity? See my mug there, huh? uh, a subscriber sent me that. They took my face and made me as a gargoyle because I had a video about gargoyles. Like many of the male heads go through these phases of talking about certain different things um, that I already lived and talked about. So it's that same song and dance. To see, just like Shawnee B says, and like I say, the bricks found me because prior to being a meltologist, I talked about all these red brick buildings here in America, these Capitol buildings that were already here, these castles that were already here, and all these dilapidated, janky ass buildings all over the place that are still in the woods in the weirdest places with fire hydrants and all kind of the weirdest things. You would say, well, why would this be way out here? And no answer for that except what we talk about. That's it's all been hidden on us. Just like yesterday, I profiled a lady out of California who's new in meltology, talking about the red hills in California and their pyramids. You know. Um, okay, we got a suggestion. Let's see. Open up studio. See what their suggestion is. Uh, huh. It says we have an excellent connection, but it was just bitching a minute ago like something was wrong. And that's weird. So, anyway. Well, you see it right there. It says excellent connection right there on the page that you're seeing. You know. Yep, it says right there, excellent connection. So I don't know what the problem is there. And that's through YouTube. Okay, now I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna just playing around. Forgive me, folks. I'm gonna check this window capture out. Huh. Well, that's showing that there. And we're gonna close that. So we close that up. So that's closed. So that's OBS Voodoo Ninja to have people. And let's see what happens if I click on this link through this phone. See if it'll bump me up in there. I'll play around by myself here. Let's see. Password is melt to enter the room. And we go. Uh, join room with camera. I'm going to bump the audio down. I'm waiting. Waiting for camera to load. Uh, wow. Wow. There we are. Okay, let me go see what's going on in Voodoo Ninja here. Nothing. Nothing. Oh yeah, I gotta start it. So, boom. All right. So there I am. See how that works? Now I'm interfaced, and there's my dog down there sleeping. You sleeping, baby girl? Huh? Huh? The day's starting out there. See the sun's coming up. So that's kind of cool feature. Here, let's set this down for a minute, and we'll take a walk outside and show you what she's looking like outside. We'll just shut this one down, and here, and that way you ain't seeing my ugly mug twice. So let's see if we go this way. It shows up better. Yeah, we take a look outside and see what it's looking like outside. It's starting to get windy. The chemtrailed the crap out of us early this morning. I was out there looking. So nobody. That's how you enter, folks. I don't even have to okay it to get into the thing. You just hit the thing, boom, and you're in, and we'll see ya. or we'll see the avatar you choose, and you can make some noise. So make some noise with me here. Red brick. See how many people would get up in there. I never seen. I said the most I ever had was I think three people sharing what was going on. So here we take a look here. I'm gonna go bump it outside so you can see what's going on outside. But the audio will be gone. I'll be outside, so you won't have audio through this phone. I don't think. Oh yeah, you probably could have if I boot the audio. I'll check once I get outside. I'll make some noise. You let me know the audio. Do you have audio? Oh yeah, audio is working pretty good. So that was pretty good. So that's working. What are you doing, baby girl? Come on. Come here, you. Ooh, my girl. There's my baby. Huh? There's my baby girl. Hello. Hey, folks. Mwah. You're a good kid. You're a good kid. Your mom's gonna be up in a minute, ain't she? Mwah. It's cold, huh? You the man sound before. Kisses. So that works pretty good. You could save yourself $50 a month by using OBS and uh, Voodoo Ninja to interface to have guests and so forth. Same thing. And it indeed works pretty damn good, folks. So here we go. We're gonna set her down. Sit down there. She's probably wanting breakfast. So anyway, so we're gonna disconnect from this call here, and let's see. I wonder if are you hearing it? How is the audio on that side here? Seems like the audio is working pretty good. So we'll just do a test. Yeah, feedback. So yeah, it's working good. So we're gonna disconnect from their piece. Oh, is that why isn't that? Oh, you weren't seeing that? Let's see. Why aren't we seeing that? Here we go. Window capture. Huh. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I didn't have it on the page, so you didn't see what I was trying to show everybody. So, I got it on there now. So, there it is. So if you go this way, yeah, that's better like that. So if you go this way, so I just wanted to see what people would see. I see what you would see. You wouldn't see all the gobbledygook that I see. You would just see yourself and that. So anyway, we're gonna end this phone call here through OBS Ninja. Worked really good. So peace. Gonna close that out. And what do we got going on here? See if anyone's left in the stream at all. So we talked about Denatron a little bit, made some noise, blah 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 blah. So let's see here. We'll go to me, view channel, live. Let's see how the feed's coming in here. Oh, it says we have 3 people still in the stream, but nobody's been commenting while I've been just making noise, babbling on. So thanks for stopping by, Frankie, Shawnee B. Uh, and Whitetail Dove. Not Whitetail Dove, but Whitetail 7. I have Dove on the brain because of my bird that I was just talking about. So that's about it, folks. We're going to end this stream. We got to get ready. We got to make Linda some coffee this morning. And get ready to get in contact with my dentist. Who, after I'm done with the dentist, what they got to fix here, I'm going to go hunt me down a new dentist. So yep, that's what I'm gonna do. So we had an excellent connection. So I got things working really good with OBS. Audio sounds really good. Um, Everybody have a beautiful day. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. Don't buy the bullshit. If you're smoking, quit them cigarettes, man. You can do it. If I can do it, yeah, you all can do it. I'm telling you. So we talked about Denatron. Live streaming's working good. We got anybody else here? All right, Daniel Triple, it's good to see you, brother. Um, Good, man. Take care of them chickens, brother. I'm gonna close shop up. Um, we were just playing around a little bit. You know, like I was saying, I got a little toothache, and I just got over the chemtrail flu. So we're using different things. And you have a beautiful day. I know you were not feeling so well. I hope you're feeling good, sir. I know it sucks being sick when you got all those responsibilities, those little critters and so forth. You got to do those things. Either way, either way, you got to still help them critters. So, yes, sir. Ouch, you ain't lying. Let's see. So, we got a little bit of big lag there. I'm looking at stuff that already went by, so I'm going back to the future or going back in the past, time traveling. So, so close that up. Audio. That was an old audio test, and here we are. Gonna end this, making some noise, running through the scenes again just to see how things are going. And it's good test. I always be testing things while I'm doing things and seeing how audio transitions as I go through the scenes. So, and to see if how it taxes my computer, if it drops frames or so forth. But we haven't had a lot of drop frames considering less than 3% of the CPUs being used, so it's working pretty damn good. And for the most part, it said Oh, doctor today, kidney issues. I'm sorry to hear that, sir. You're in my prayers, my man. I have a friend of mine out in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that he has one kidney right now, and only one's functioning correctly. And he went and they were supposed to take some biopsy off of the kidney, and they find out it wasn't. He had a mass lump on his bladder, and he just was diagnosed with bladder cancer. So he's going to have his bladder removed and have an ostomy for the rest of his life. He's only 54 years old, and I feel for him there because I know what that's like because my woman had her bladder removed from melanoma cancer of the bladder. So I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Prayers. I know there's juicing recipes that will help. I urge you to start looking at those things that you want to do for to help yourself. Yeah, I hope I get that tooth fixed too, sir. So thank you for your thoughts there. So anyway, we end with that with hopeful things for Daniel Triplet out there. That things are getting good and chicks are doing good. I'm jealous. I wish I had chickens to get my couple eggs every morning. They're probably the freshest eggs in the world, you know. Yeah, well, we gotta get them kidneys working better, brother. Prayers for your kidneys. There's my dog barking. She knows my girl's up, so that's my alarm clock telling me my girl's up, headed this way. So we're gonna end it, bro. Prayers for you. That's how we're gonna end it. Prayers for Daniel Triplet, man. So wishing you well, brother. And I got two kidneys, bro. And you know what? I won't say this to many people, but if you needed a kidney, bro, I'd give you one of mine. Swear I would. And most people are compatible with me because I have particular blood. Anyone could take my blood, but I only can take blood from people who have blood like me. So that's what a doctor told me. I'd be a good organ transplant person because most people can can accept my organs and my type of blood. So know that, brother. Know you got to fall back on that. So if you ever need it, holler, bro. I'd give it up for you, sir. All right, peace. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. We out of here this time, for real. Peace, Daniel. Thanks for stopping by. God bless you, sir.